Hey guys, Teacher Mabid here. Welcome to my channel. I am a teacher turned homeschool mom to two little girls, and on this channel I talk about everything about homeschooling, motherhood, and everything in between. And today I'm talking about reasons why we homeschool. So I have a list of about 10 reasons why we homeschool. So let's get started. Okay, so the first reason I have here, I have a little list here, so I'm going to read through of that. The first reason I have here is that our instruction is catered to our children's needs. I'm going to talk really briefly about that. So basically, the purpose of homeschooling is to be able to cater to the needs and the individual needs of each child, and that's not something we can do in school, because that brings me to my second point. The ratio of the instructor to children is much higher in public schools, private schools, any type of schools. At home, we can give our attention to our child one-on-one, even if it's a big family. Even if you're a family of 6 or 7, the ratio of 1 to 6 to 7 is still considerably less than what you have in our regular schools. And then when the instructor can interact with the child on a one-on-one basis, that just brings a whole other level of education and learning into the picture for the child. And so that's a big, huge reason why I feel like, even though I am a teacher, I feel like when the child has that individual attention and they can relate to the instructor and ask the instructor and talk to the instructor, it's just it brings a whole other level of intimacy, and it brings a whole other level of learning for the student. So that's my first two reasons. The next one is that I want to be able to control what my child is learning. I want to develop my child's identity through their learning, through their understanding of what I'm giving them, because there is a lot of information out there. There's a lot of, there's good information, then there's bad information. There's a lot out there that I don't want my children exposed to at an early age, until they're old enough to have a firm understanding of themselves, their identity, and who they are. And then when they go out into the world, they can identify the good from the bad and understand and make more informed decisions. So that's my other reason. My fourth reason is that there's room to grow. Our children are constantly changing, and so it doesn't make sense for instruction or teaching to be in a core set manner for all children. That doesn't make any sense, because our children are different, and that's why we have these categorization of special needs, not special needs, overactive, hyperactive. And I just feel like education needs to be a personal experience. Education needs to be one-on-one with children. A teacher who has been with a child for several years, like we see in elementary schools, has an understanding of who the child is, what the child is going through, and how they're developing. But with our school system changing over the past couple of years, and there being more government directed, there's more government involvement, basically. And I just feel like that takes away from the child's experience of learning, regardless of what your ideology of learning is, whether it's faith-based, whether it's secular, whether, whatever it is. Children need to be with an instructor and learn through a personal experience. Once education becomes an impersonal experience, that's where we start losing our children. That's where we start losing them to, other external factors, because, that's something that they're relating with. They're not relating with their educator anymore. So that's a reason why I feel like. And then the other reason is that it's safe. A lot of times, especially given our current times, I just feel a lot safe for building my children at home and then letting them make those informed decisions outside once they're old enough, you know. And it's a safe environment. It's an environment I can control, and I can help them understand good from bad and help them build their identity in. And so that's why those are one of my top reasons. Some other reasons that I have are that I can watch them grow. You know, I can watch their development and their milestones. When you're homeschooling, something as small as, you know, writing your first letter becomes this amazing experience for the family that the entire family enjoys, you know, no matter how many children there are in the household, you know, and reading becomes this amazing experience. And so just taking in those small joys that come with childhood and growth of an adult, you know. So I just feel like those need to be moments that are enjoyed with the family and taken in with the family. And so that's my other reason. So that connected with that is that it builds. My other reason is is that it builds relationships at home, within siblings, within, you know, the family unit. Like if we look at our families these days, you know, half the time the children are at school, you know, and then they come home and there's a routine and everybody's in that routine, and, you know, the parents are at work, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's just that I feel like we need to be giving more attention to our children. We need to be giving more time to our children. And that's why I feel like when our children are learning at home with a parent or an instructor even at home, you know, they're just building those relationships with the family. You know, their siblings are building relationships at home, and they're building those solid relationships. It doesn't mean that they get along all the time. It just means that they're working on those relationships. You know, and they're not these distant people that are, you know, just, oh, we're related like blood, but we never really had a chance to get along. We never had a chance to, you know, get to know each other. So I just feel like that's another reason why I feel like we homeschool. Character development and identity development. I talked about this a little earlier, and it's just that I want to be able to give my child what I feel is the right thing to do, and what the wrong thing to do is. I want to set them up like okay, I'll talk to you from a personal point of view. Growing up for Muslim little kids in America is a tough thing because they're trying to find their identity. I'll tell you from my experience, me growing up here was a tough thing. Just still trying to find out, who am I? You know, where do I fit in our society? And, you know, am I this person that everybody talks about, like, you know, with all the negative stigma out there? And I want to be able to tell my child and help them grow up confidently and instill in them those core good values, so that when they get out there, when they face the world, they realize what is good, what is not good, what should we do about it. And you want to be able to build those problem solving skills within your kids, so that they can get out there, and when they do, they are, you know, they are solving problems, and they are taking on those you know, taboo things in society, and those stigmas and stuff, and saying, you know, and those misnomers in society, and saying that, you know, this is who we are, this is who we really are. And I just feel that's a very strong thing for me, that, you know, to homeschool my children, because I want to give them the understanding of who we are as people. And then some of my other ones is that learning is not to be like, I don't like, even though I am a teacher, I don't like learning being dictated by state exams or you know, in reality, in exams of any sort, because I just feel like learning should be this fun, enjoyable process where, you know, in reality, learning doesn't just go from, you know, first grade to 12th grade or kindergarten to 12th grade, whatever. You know, it's not limited to that time period. We are always learning. We are constantly learning. Everywhere we go, we are learning. And I want my children to love learning. that is my ultimate goal, you know, because if they love learning, they love exploring ideas and topics, and you know, they will naturally gravitate towards becoming more educated human beings. I don't believe that you know, that if you are someone who loves learning, that you are just going to be like, you know, oh, I don't want to do that. That you're just going to lack motivation to become something in this world. So I don't feel like our goal should be creating doctors and engineers and artists. Our goal should be creating human beings that love learning. And when they love learning, their natural tendencies will gravitate them towards this, you know, this education or this profession that they will enjoy, doing, and they will, you know, contribute so much more to society when they're doing that. Okay, I'm talking too much. But anyways, and then my last point is that I want to create a love of learning, you know, just creating an environment where learning is fun, learning is enjoyable, learning is something that we do together, learning is, you know, a lifelong experience, is a very big thing in my mind about why we homeschool. So those are some things that, so there's some reasons why we homeschool, and let me know in the comments what your reasons are to homeschool, because I would love to hear other views and other perspectives on, you know, and get ideas about why we homeschool, and you know, because it's such a beautiful thing, and I think everyone can homeschool if they want to. So that's it, guys. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and please subscribe to stay tuned for our rest of our videos that we have planned. And all right, guys, see ya.